Episode
right.
5.
That's my line.
Oh, how come I can't take it sometimes?
No, that's my line. Episode 5. Let's go.
Booyah. You caught me off guard today. I didn't think we were.
My goodness, no.
I didn't think we were going to do an episode today, guys. This weekend has been really interesting. Yeah, we've been fighting with technology this weekend. So, and we're still trying to figure it out and survive and breathe.
It's definitely been a struggle. So we got a new camera.
We did. So if I look like a Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, we're still working out the kinks. If neither one of us knows what we're doing with this freaking camera.
Well, no, we don't. We really don't.
So if anybody is listening in the comments, just give us some pointers on how to adjust the settings, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, the crazy part is that we definitely ran to YouTube. Still have no idea. Read some of these booklets that came with the camera. Still doesn't make sense. But it's okay. We're gonna figure it out one way or another.
Anyway, if not, it's going to be a trial and error. We're still like working on our lighting and things like that. So
It's fine.
mean,
It's not a big deal.
It is what it is. I said, let's just get it done today so we can get an episode done and recorded, and
let's chat,
we'll just go from there.
Yeah.
Before we get started, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor.
No.
Dutch Bros.
It's
no,
not.
I'm kidding. Wouldn't that be great though?
Yes, but
So
no,
Dutch Bros,
we don't have any
if y'all
affiliation with Dutch Bros at all.
But if Dutch Bros wants to sponsor us, we do drink your coffee quite often.
Probably very often. And let me tell you guys how serious it is, okay? So I am a Starbucks chick, like by far, right? And I have my
You
app.
mean you were a Starbucks?
Oh no, like I'm still stand by Starbucks.
No, come on, man.
I am. I'm
No,
like,
you don't.
yes, I do. I have no
you're
issues or problems with Starbucks.
No, you're just brainwashed.
My brain is washed,
You're
maybe
just-
addicted,
you're just brainwashed.
but I'm not brainwashed, because
You
if
are
I was
absolutely
brainwashed,
Today's culture has trained you
definitely
to go to
wouldn't
Starbucks.
I wouldn't even taste nobody's coffee if that was the case. But honestly, I love mom and pop coffee shops, or any coffee shops. One of my friends actually just got me into this new the Bees. What is it? Sorry guys, but it's in Upland, and so good. But you see, I'm willing to try new stuff, but I will stand by Starbucks.
You're willing to try new stuff, but Starbucks is trash.
Why are we
not
always
as, and
talking
I'll say
about
this:
coffee?
it's not as trash as Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh,
Because Dunkin' Donuts is like the bottom of the barrel. Like Dunkin' Donuts is like I can't even call it trash, because that's disrespecting trash.
Itone, you're being very dramatic right now.
I'm not even being dramatic.
It's honestly, I'll
like Dunkin'
say
Donuts.
their sandwiches are really good.
I'll drink instant Folgers, that coffee your mom drinks.
Don't be
before
hating
Dunkin'
on that.
Donuts.
Don't be hating on that. Don't be.
But that's nasty,
Folgers
though.
is no. You cannot be hating. Hey, I grew up with Folgers for the longest.
Listen,
just until you came into my life and decided to make me bougie.
I made you bougie.
Before that, I had
made you bougie.
Coffee.
You made you bougie. I had nothing to do with that.
Oh, you had everything
over here
to do
with
that.
Starbucks and whatnot. I had. Okay,
Dude,
listen.
Guys,
guys,
let me tell you. Itone has an app. Okay, he has an app. He gets his free coffees. He gets his points. It's so bad that I even have his little barcode on my phone. So when I go,
hating? Oh, I know why you're hating.
Why?
You're hating because I got free coffees without the app.
I got free coffees at Dutch too. Actually, I didn't get a free coffee. I get bigger sizes for free.
Yeah, it's because the the baristas mess up the order and end
No.
up making more than they should.
You think so?
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I feel like they know me there already. The guy knows me. He's like, oh, hey, going to work again?
Really?
Yeah.
But they never gave you free coffee, though.
Well,
I got free coffee.
good for you.
Yeah, I know.
You think I'm jelly because you got free coffee?
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, Dutch Bros is much better. If y'all have it in your neighborhood,
Yeah.
please go because I think it's great. First time we had it was in Vegas, and since then, fell in love with it.
I know, Vegas. When are we going to Vegas, by the way? I feel like it's been a minute.
It's definitely been a minute. I don't know.
I'm not going to count EDC as you know.
That's
trip
a
to
Vegas trip, though.
We didn't do anything in Vegas. It was outside Vegas.
No, it's still Vegas.
No, it's not.
It's at the racetrack. That's still Vegas.
Okay, but we didn't go on the strip and, eat out there.
Well, I mean, look, we still went.
That's not my point. So it's been a minute.
All right, it's been a minute. I don't know when we're going back. Maybe for our anniversary.
No, I'm okay. I don't feel like going for an anniversary to Vegas. It's too cold in November.
It is not even cold in November.
It is kind of cold. I remember going and I was pretty cold in November. It does. It does get cold.
It's not okay. So it's a little bit cold. It's still like California weather. It's still like it's basically like California.
You know what?
It's not
You're
that
right.
bad.
I don't care if I get a trip, a getaway. I'll take it. I need some self-care time anyways, so I'll take it.
All right. So Halloween is right around the corner.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. 2 days from now.
You have any scary stories?
Scary stories?
Yeah. Like scary experiences?
Probably a lot of scary experiences. You
Like
tell me yours first.
like
You tell
some of
me yours first.
Your Mexico trips?
I mean, Mexico in itself, I mean, I was a kid. I haven't been to Mexico for over 15 years. So I think the last time I went, I was probably, 9 or 10?
Oh, you witness anything creepy down there? La Llorona?
No, but we sure had to run
Chupacabra?
home. You have to take into consideration that even if you're a kid, you're kind of roaming free till like 2 or 3 in the morning, right? So
I don't know nothing about that. I was supposed to be in the house when the street lights came on, so I don't know nothing about having to be home or between 2 and 3 in the morning.
Not in Mexico, guys. By the way, my mom. So I would take trips sometimes to Mexico along with my dad, right? And my mom, it was years and years after I think I was probably already an adult. Once she heard all these stories. So we would be on our own.
Didn't care, man.
No,
How come your mom didn't go with you?
She would stay behind with my brother. I mean, I'm not sure why she wouldn't go, but honestly, I mean, I was a kid. I probably was like, "Ooh, freedom!" So I really didn't mind. I mean, I'm not sure why she didn't go, but the whole entire time that I was over there, I would see my dad once during the day. I knew where he was, and the only time that I would see him is to go and ask him for money. And then after that, I was gone. I was gone with my cousins, having a good time. We would go see those toros, the bullfights. And we probably wouldn't start going back to my aunt's house. Maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
You guys didn't see anything scary or creepy?
Not like scary.
You ran through the cemeteries?
Yeah, we would. Well, so I didn't mind the cemeteries, but my cousins would always be like, "Oh, you can't go that far. The cemetery's over there." It wasn't. It was almost like by the border, so we weren't really allowed to go that far. But we would definitely. So the streets out there, I don't know about today, but they didn't have a lot of lights. So we would have to run because, you know, that's the first thing you start thinking, right? Like, oh my gosh, I'm this guy. And we would literally probably run and scream like, oh my God. And we would just run back to my aunt's house. But no, I don't think I ever saw anything spooky besides, I mean, real life things. And I mean, they were there, you know, I don't think you guys want to hear in detail what I would see. But as far as like ghosts or paranormal things, I don't think so. Oh, besides that story that I told you, remember that I was like laying on the bed. So, and I never ever wanted to stretch my legs out. So one night I would sleep with the blanket all the way to the top. Because for some reason it was pitch black.
Was it a Mexican blanket?
It was a Mexican blanket. It was a Mexican, but it was hot, guys. It was so hot, but I didn't care. As long as my head was covered, I was fine. And it wasn't like I was by myself. I was with my cousins. And I remember stretching my feet and feeling somebody at the edge of the bed. Okay. And it wasn't soft. You know, it was like I touched somebody. Right? Oh my gosh. My legs came right back up and I slept. I mean, I literally slept in the cradle position. Like I was just like the whole entire night.
Okay. Are you sure you just didn't feel one of your cousin's foots or
no, because like I went like this. Like my leg was in the air and I felt it. Like something was on the edge.
And you didn't bother to look?
No, I'm not gonna bother to look. That's how you get taken away, man. Like, no. Don't see, you don't know. You'll be better off. But besides that, no, nothing in Mexico. Like, nothing spooky. Now, out here, heck yeah. But I want to hear yours. I don't think I've really ever heard your... Yeah, I think I have, huh? But yours are more like nightmares and stuff.
Yeah, mine have more to do with sleep than anything else.
So I do have one spooky one, and my brother could actually, he's a witness to this one. And this is probably the most clearest one of all. So we moved from LA to San Bernardino. And it was we went from like a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom. So finally I had my own room, right? And I had to share with my brother. So my brother is 6 years younger than me. And I want to say at the time, he was probably 3 or 4 years old. Right? So that night, he usually never slept with me. But that night, he joined me and I woke up to footsteps. So it was like our room was at the other end of like the back of the house. And it was literally right next to the laundry room. So it was connected together.
Yeah.
And then there was a little doorway to the kitchen. Boom. The kitchen was right there. So you had to walk through the kitchen to walk to my mom's room to the living room. Okay. So you had to cross it. And I woke up to footsteps, pitch black. So something about me, I've never really been scared of the dark. Like I could walk in the pitch black dark. I'm fine with that. So I thought it was my mom or dad. I remember getting up and I'm over here expecting like my mom or dad. And I'm like, oh, so I walk into the kitchen, nothing. So by then I'm just like, well, maybe they went to bed already. So I go to my parents' room. Both of them are snoring. Both of them, right? And I'm still in the dark, okay? So I'm just like, okay. So I go back to my room. I lay down. And minutes later, I start hearing the footsteps again. But, so I'm just thinking to myself.
Maybe it was a rat.
No, it sounded like footsteps. Like hard footsteps.
Maybe it was a big rat.
Maybe. I mean, I'm hoping it was because But I know I wasn't losing my mind. My brother was awake, not knowing. I didn't know that he was awake. And he's, all I hear, his little voice. He was like, Normita, and I was like, I'm trying not to sound scared. So he's like, do you hear that? And I was like, yeah. So you hear it too? So, and I just remember him and I literally just laid there until the footsteps stopped. Like I wasn't going to get up or, so I just remember telling him, I wonder if he remembers the story, but.
Did you end up telling your parents the next day?
No, I didn't.
Man, so you just kept it to yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I never told them, but I remember if my brother remembers that. But that was probably the spookiest thing that happened there, and the only thing that I remember. I don't think I ever encountered anything else. To tell the truth. But yeah, that was probably one of my first spookies.
Man, well, I used to be afraid of the dark, man.
Were you? Yes, I know.
Lord, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
To this day, you are.
Okay, you don't got to out me like that. Man, don't be putting my business out there like that, man.
You know what? People have always used me, okay? So I don't care. I'm saying it. Man, what is it? Why are you guys so scared of the dark?
Who's you guys? What do you mean, you guys?
Like you guys, like my cousins, you. Yes. What did you think I meant? Like black people?
Yeah.
Wow, he told it. That's rude. I didn't say that.
No, you're being rude.
You're being rude.
Man, I remember being at my mom's house. We had a 2-story apartment.
Yeah.
And she used to let me stay up at night watching TV downstairs because we had cable downstairs, but in my room.
Wait, what house was this?
This was an apartment.
The one in Cedar, Rialto?
No, but way before that. I was like, this was before my sister was born. So,
okay.
I was like,
how old were you?
5, 6, 7.
Okay.
Like that age. She would let me watch TV downstairs late at night. And I remember like when I was ready to go to sleep, I hated it.
Because you had to run up.
So I would turn I would turn the TV off.
Yeah.
Right. I would like turn off the light to the living room and like run to the edge of the stairs.
Oh my gosh.
And then I don't remember if there was a hall light upstairs or not, but I remember, man. No, okay, I remember now. I remember. So there was a hall light upstairs, but there was no light like on the stairs.
Right.
So I had to turn off the light to the living room. Man, I bolted from that living room all the way upstairs. Man.
That was probably and you better not trip neither.
Well, I bolted up them stairs, man.
Would you ever trip?
No, I was good. Yeah, I was good, man.
What did you think? Something was like chasing behind you?
Yeah. No, because for some reason, like, I don't know, I would like, because I like Twilight Zone and stuff like that, right? So I would watch those things. I was
about to ask you, what was it that you used to watch? Because I always blame it on movies, shows, anything that kids watch, right?
So I would watch like stuff like Twilight Zone. It's funny because you look at those things today and it's like they're a little bit cheesy. But I think
they're
as
cheesy,
a kid,
but they're still kind of freaky. They're kind of freaky. Mm-hmm. So even I could see why you would probably be scared as a kid.
But like, I don't know, maybe just because as an adult, like you just think about things differently. But as a kid, I would watch these things. Yeah, because I look at
People still get scared.
Man, I used to watch this. There was a Halloween episode of Dick Van Dyke. Do you remember that show?
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a Halloween episode where, oh man, I don't remember the wife's character's name, but she was played by Mary Tyler Moore, and I think she ended up being like abducted by an alien and then replaced with like an alien clone. and
I didn't-
supposedly like she had eyes in the back of her head.
Okay.
Right. And so she would like they never showed like the eyes on camera, but like she went to Dick Van Dyke, her husband, and she was like, I see you, and she like opened up she like parted her hair and showed him the eyes in the back of her head. Dude, I don't know why, for some reason, like that episode it really scared me. But you know what scared me more than that?
What?
There was a show, like I don't know if it was like a show or some kind of like a variety show, but do you remember the Coneheads?
Yes, I remember the Coneheads.
Okay, so there was some kind of Conehead show, and I just remember like I was so freaked out by them.
Really? The Coneheads?
The Coneheads.
No, I just thought they were weirdly odd, but
I don't know, just
I
like
didn't get
the way they looked.
Scared.
You know, I was so afraid of them.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you see, my mom, we weren't allowed to see scary things.
But was it even like, that wasn't even like horror though?
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. But come on, you weren't thinking of a conehead chasing you up the stairs,
I don't know. I just thought like, man, they were scary.
But
so yeah, I would like bolt upstairs and then run in my bed and get under my bed, get under the sheets.
Oh yes, because nothing can open the door and get you. Right?
As long as you're under the sheets.
That's what I'm saying.
Man,
that was the same thing in Mexico.
It's like an impenetrable like barrier.
Like,
nothing is getting
nobody's gonna get you.
They can't see you. They can't get you.
Yeah. So you want to know something? I have a visual of me being I was probably smaller than, let me see, younger than 4 years old, because I have really good memory. Like I remember things when I was 2 years old, but I don't know if this really happened. That's the weird part. But if I feel like it did. So I remember being in the living room, and this was in LA. I remember being in the living room, and I remember turning, I don't know if it was towards the room or the kitchen, but I remember seeing a figure, and it scared me, right? But instead of me crying or screaming to my mom, I remember laying on the couch. Like I literally did one of those where, you know, you kind of like slowly. And so I remember covering my face, and in my mind, I was thinking until my mom comes and gets me, I'll be okay. But I'm still thinking like, okay, what is this thing, right? So I remember falling asleep. I was, you know what I mean? But isn't that crazy? Like, I just don't know if it's just like a memory that I have. And I swear that it happened. But I think I was so young. And again, I mean, I was so young, and I didn't tell my mom, like, hey mom, you know, like I just let it go, and you're a kid. You're not gonna, you let it go. Like you do your own thing afterwards. But, do you think that kids are more sensitive to like the spiritual world?
Yeah, I think so. I really think so. And you know what's funny? Because I think that there's a time frame from like the moment you're born to the moment that you actually become self-aware. Right. Okay. So I think within that time frame where you're more or less on autopilot, I think that you do have more connection to that spiritual realm.
I do think so too.
Because think about it, like when do you think that you became self-aware?
Well, that's the thing, because I was about 9 years old when I heard those footsteps. I was
like,
what do you mean?
So I'm not saying that like things don't happen even after you become self-aware, right? Because people, I think, can still maybe see things or
sense things
or hear things.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that you may be just more connected.
I think so too. I think kids are, because there's certain things that kids do, man, when they're kids, and you're like, what are you doing?
Right.
Who are you looking at? Right.
Right.
Or Elias did that a couple of times when he was a baby. And that freaked me out.
Do you know what I mean by becoming self-aware?
Sort of,
like when did you become conscious of yourself?
I understand. Like, it's not like you're saying when something like that, we know that it's not normal.
No. That's like all that aside.
I don't understand what you're saying.
You don't. Okay, so
I don't.
So, like being self-aware, like knowing, almost like, let me see, how can I say this? Like understanding that you're human, like you're you, like you have like now like full control of yourself, I guess.
Interesting. Okay. So you're saying that is the reason why as a child you kind of start disconnecting from, like, not have that same type of sensory to that world?
I mean, it's just a theory, because
no, I know, but I'm just trying to understand what you're trying to say.
So I think on average, when people are asked, when did you become self-aware? If I remember correctly, the average age of what people said was about 5 years old when they became self-aware.
Interesting. I don't think I've really thought about that.
And I think that's like, that may coincide with why people really can't remember things from early childhood.
Okay.
Because you're not even aware of yourself at that time.
Right. But that's so interesting that you say that you're not even aware of yourself at that time, when that is the age you're more selfish. Like, everything's about you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of ironic if you really think about it. You know, at the end of the day, like at that age, it's your world and nobody else's, you know, and you're so much more in tune with yourself. I mean, maybe not that when I say in tune, it's totally different when you're an adult, right? You're trying to be in tune with yourself. That's a totally different thing.
And here's the social worker guy.
Yes. Hey.
Yeah,
hey.
I mean, according to the textbook, and
right, but that's
Maslow's laws of.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the irony in that. You know, we learn this, but when you see reality in the
But
real,
are they actually aware of what they're doing?
Yeah, no, they're not.
Exactly.
You know, they're definitely not. It's like, I want it this way. Even if I get hurt, or, you know, that's where the parent or the adult comes in. Like, no, you know. But man, I don't know. I don't know if I can tell you exactly when, because I have tons of memories when I was a kid, even young as 1 year old.
No.
Yes.
No.
I tell my mom.
No.
Listen. I will tell my mom stories, and she's like, there's no way you can remember that. She's like, there's no way. How do you even know that?
No, you need to get that checked out. So there's
maybe I would say,
there's another story.
Okay.
Look, there's another story.
Okay.
I used to be so afraid of the living room in my grandmother's house. I grew up with my grandma, and the way that house was set up was, you had the kitchen, you had an opening to what was like a really big living room. That living room was huge, at least for me as a kid. I thought that living room was really big.
You probably go back, man, and you're small.
Yeah, probably. And then you continue down the hallway, and there were 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms down the hallway. So, man, I remember, like, late nights, I would bolt past that living room because it was always dark. We didn't really do much in there. It was used almost like, because my grandmother was like a hoarder, man. So It was almost used more like a storage than anything else. We really didn't like go in there often. So
Right.
it was always dark. And I would just like bolt past that. But what's crazy
I was
is
gonna ask why though. What
I
did you
don't know.
experience?
I always thought that there was like something in there, right? And well, you know what's funny? As a kid, I used to have this recurring dream
Okay.
about that living room. And you know, I look back at it now. When I tell you, you're probably gonna laugh. But to me, it was like it was really scary. There was, it was. I remember that in the dream, I don't know if I would like go in the living room or I was just already automatically in the living room. But in the dream, at the back of the living room, and I don't know how it was like mounted, but there was like some, I guess the only way I can describe it is like a towel monster. It was like a towel, but like it had like a mouth and a face. And
It's like the Home Alone.
what, like the
Remember?
furnace?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
that's
like
how I
it was,
picture,
it
you
was
know?
like something like that. And
Yeah.
I remember it was like it was hung really high. And I don't remember like what it would say to me.
But in real life, was there something like that?
No, there was nothing
It
like
was just
that
in your
there.
dream.
It was in my dream, but
Interesting.
this dream was recurrent though. It was absolutely like
The
I
same
had
thing
this
happened every time?
every time.
Nothing changed in your dream?
Not necessarily. And I had this dream all the time. And then there was one time in particular. This was not a dream.
Okay.
I woke up and I heard classical music playing coming from like the living room area.
Okay.
And I thought that it could have been my grandma because sometimes she'd be up late.
Right.
She would drink a lot. And the classical music
Man,
is
your
what
grandma must have been in there chilling after
see,
all of you
that's
guys
the
were
thing.
asleep.
The classical music is what threw me off. It sounded like somebody was playing the piano.
I think you had told me this.
Yeah, so it sounded like somebody was playing the piano, but it was like classical music. And that threw me off because if she was up, she was usually listening to like some old, like R&B or,
She didn't play the piano?
like jazz. She did, but she usually played like blues or something like that. She didn't, I never heard her play classical music.
Maybe it was her.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Like everybody was asleep.
Nobody? No.
All right, sorry about that. Camera died. But yeah, like there was no way that was my grandmother.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, but okay, wait. So you were awake when that
The
happened?
music woke me up.
And you didn't go check it?
No. I just said I was afraid of the dark. Like, I'm not about to go check and see.
Wait a minute. So in the dark?
Everybody was, it was night.
So there was no lights, like let's say, turned on in the living room?
No. I don't remember any lights being on.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty freaky.
Yeah, I don't remember any lights being on.
That is interesting. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe
And
the
now
living room. 'Cause
somebody
it's
else lives in
open.
that house, so I guess, whatever's with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's with them now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I understand why people are afraid, but let me tell you, that is the best time to play hide and seek.
No, I'm done. Because there's no way I'd even go hide in that living room.
I was so good, man, at hide and seek.
There's no way.
So the houses in San Bernardino. So my mom, we used to live in the front, and there was a second house in the back. My grandparents and they used to live in the back, right? So when my cousins would come over for summer, I mean, we would be out there until maybe 12 or 1 in the morning, like just playing, right? We would just be playing. And man, when I tell you, I did not have a problem hiding like in the back because it was a huge backyard. And so my grandma's house light would only hit to a certain point, and then everything back there dark.
Yeah.
Right. So when we would play hide and seek, man, it was easy. I just had to hide in the dark. So my cousins would be like, "All right, Norma, okay," but they wouldn't. They would just come to the dark and then run back.
Yeah, something's wrong with you, man. No, speaking of backyards, at that same house,
Yeah.
so my grandma rented from a lady, and our backyard was actually divided into two sections. And I don't know what they had on the far side. It was like, I remember it being like gravel or something, and then maybe like a storage shed, but I don't think we had access like to go back there. Yeah, but what was crazy was somehow a peacock lived back there.
Who fed it?
I don't even know how it wound up back there.
Wait, it just lived there? You
Like
guys would see it?
one day we heard the peacock, like, you know how they make that loud, almost like a honk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would hear it, and then like we'd see it. I think that's also where I developed my fear of the male peacocks, because they spread their feathers and it just looks like a bunch of eyes staring at you. I used to hate that.
Now I understand.
Yeah,
That's why you acted the way you did at the LA Zoo.
Maybe
because they have those roaming around for all free.
Heck no, man. No, the way they spread those feathers, it just looks like a bunch of eyes.
That's like the most beautiful thing. What are you talking about?
Well,
it's like as soon as they open,
as a kid,
all the
it scared
colors.
me.
I mean, I can see that. I can see why,
it definitely
but
scared me
who
as a kid.
fed it? Where?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know how it got back there. I don't know if it belonged
To somebody,
to like the landlord or what. But like down Del Rosa in Highland, there was like a family of peacocks that lived down that street. So I don't know if like somebody owns them or what.
I don't know, because it's I know what street you're talking about, right by the church. Yeah, you drive up and there's a whole bunch of them by the street.
And and they're there all the time.
Remember like the turkeys in that Tuscadero?
Yep. It was like that.
So I don't
know where you find wild peacocks, but that's interesting though.
I don't know. That is kind of scary though. Yeah, I don't know, man. Scary things don't. Maybe, like I said, I think maybe because my mom didn't allow us to watch scary things. I really wasn't.
Yeah.
But even our kids, I mean, I don't know. Elias, is he a scary cat? But he doesn't like scary movies.
Yeah, I would. It would be safe to say that he is. I think.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know, because he doesn't watch scary movies. You have to understand, guys. My family loves scary movies, but Elias will not sit down. Like we kind of, we don't allow our kids to watch certain movies, right? But there's certain ones that I'm just like, hey, Elias, you're old enough. He's like, nope.
Like Roots.
You want to tell them that story?
What story?
The story of, he's ready to watch this movie.
He's ready. No, I watched that at a
You
young
guys
age,
want to know what's scary? But you know what's
too.
scary, guys? For a child, how old was he last? 5 years old? When you showed him RoboCop?
Oh. Are we talking about Roots or RoboCop?
You want to tell them about RoboCop?
Are we talking about Roots or are we talking about RoboCop?
Let's talk about RoboCop, because I feel like RoboCop was a scary time for Elias.
Oh, okay, let's talk. What do you want to talk about?
That scared him. That probably you probably traumatized him about robots and stuff.
You think so?
Probably. So Elias was about what, 5 years old?
He wasn't like 5 years old. He was older than that.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't that much older.
It doesn't matter. I watched RoboCop at like 5, 6 years old.
But we never have allowed our kids to watch certain movies.
Maybe they should watch it though.
Oh, I'm okay with that. But by then you had already established, no, there's certain movies you didn't want Elias to watch.
That's not true. I said he should watch Roots, and clearly I let him watch RoboCop.
And then what happened?
What happened?
You traumatized him.
That's not true.
He even says it. You want to call him? He even says it. He's, he's expecting, this man turned into a robot. And then all of a sudden, here comes, what's the name of the big robot? Can't remember his name.
Ed 209. Put some respect on his name, man.
He starts, that scene, guys, where he just goes crazy. They lose, I don't know. What happens? Like, they're not able to control him.
You tell the story, man. You talking about, I'm over here traumatizing my kid. Tell the story.
You are traumatizing him. And all of a sudden, he starts shooting everybody that's there during the meeting. You should have seen Elias' face. And then... And then he turns around, looks at me like, I forgot about that scene.
No, because you know what it was?
What?
That was like the extended version of that scene. I don't think that full scene made it to the actual movie.
How did you even find that?
I don't know. It was on YouTube.
Oh my god.
So for me, I didn't even expect, I think that was the first time I had seen it.
Man, Tony's face was like, I don't know. Like you're just, and then Elias' face. And I was like, what is this? Like, he had probably never seen such a massacre, like, in his life. Like, that was just a very brutal scene for him.
So, real quick, and is trick-or-treating still a thing in 2023?
I don't know.
Do people still trick-or-treat?
I feel like they do. I think they only go to certain areas. Growing up, I mean, we did. With our kids, we kind of haven't. We've only gone to church, and that's usually where where they get their candy, have a good time, play games. But I can't even tell you if that's still a thing. We haven't passed out candies for a long time.
Usually because we're gone.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. Just listening to friends and family, though, some neighborhoods. So I don't know, guys, if you guys do the same. But, growing up, you would go to like the rich neighborhoods because they would give out. They would give out the full bars or... Sometimes good candy.
Not that off-brand stuff.
Or you will get fruits. That was just weird. That was just so weird. But seriously, I think there are a couple of times that I got oranges.
No, I got fruit too. And I'm just like, you're not going trick-or-treating to get fruit.
So when I was in LA, those are probably one of the greatest. See, LA, I was under 5 years old. And I remember those trick-or-treat nights. Like, those streets out there, man, were no joke. We would go out trick-or-treating, and we would come home with tons and tons of candy. But it wasn't only the trick-or-treating. It was really, just going out and seeing everybody in the neighborhood would dress up. And almost all the houses had decorations, and it was fun. But... now, I don't know. I don't know if the danger is still the same as before, because people are like, nowadays things are different. Are they? So
let me ask you, what were the dangers of trick or treating
before? Mm-hmm. Just make sure we would have to check our candy, right? Same thing as today. I would say that's still the same. You check your candy.
Check it for what?
Like if it looks like if it's a little bit open, if there's like a hole, depending on what type of candy. That's really what it was, right? Mm-hmm. The other danger was you always go on a group, never be by yourself because you don't want to get kidnapped. You don't,
So I don't know. I don't know if this was like a black thing or not.
Why?
And maybe some of you guys can can kind of comment on this because I honestly don't know, but we had to check all of our candy, or I had to give it to either my mom or grandma or some adult to check.
Right.
Because supposedly, I guess back in the day, people were like putting razor blades in candy or something like that.
That's still a thing. Not so long ago that was happening.
So that's actually a thing.
Is it though? Right? Look how long ago was that? And look, this was not that long ago. They were saying the same thing.
So that was actually a thing. People actually did that. Because I always wondered, like, man, I've never found a razor blade or anything malicious in any of my candy.
You're right.
Like my mom was just being paranoid.
You're right. Let's check. You want me to see?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's see. Because you're right. Or is it just a thing that people have been passing down throughout the
I know,
years, right? Because
even what are you even talking about?
Leilani and Elias were just having that conversation, and Elias told Leilani the same thing
About the razor
the
blades?
razor blades.
See, I've never heard of anybody finding a razor blade in their candy.
Well, that's one, and then two, the other poison candy myths. Wow. So I guess they're part of urban legends about malevolent strangers intentionally hiding poisoning drugs or sharp objects. Oh, apples. So I guess in the 60s, in the 60s, that's how long ago, trapped apple with razor blades concealed inside.
And these guys, so it's the ones that are giving you the fruit that are actually trying to harm you, not the people giving you candy.
Examined by a policewoman, Carol McKay. It was so this is an actual story. This actually happened. But no child has ever been killed by eating Halloween candy from a straw. Okay. So I guess it's probably just urban legends, you could say. Let's see. But nowadays, Elias, another thing that because Elias was the one actually telling Leilani, you have to be careful with drugs being inserted into candy, and right now fentanyl is such a big thing.
Right, and that's where I was going with it.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know if you can necessarily see like a pinpoint like needle hole. Right, in the candy.
Well, that, like I just said, that was another thing we would have to see, like if you could find a needle, like something that's been punctured.
If you could find a needle, but think about like the smaller gauge needles, like the insulin needles. Could you find a hole?
Probably not.
From that?
No.
So then is trick or treating actually safe?
So I told the kids that if we do go trick-or-treating this year, because Ilani really does want to experience it. She never has. I told her she's not allowed to eat the candy. I'm like, you can go and have a good time, but you're not going to be allowed to eat the candy.
That's sad.
It is sad. Well, especially for her. Because Leilani. Don't mess with Leilani's candy. But honestly, I mean, it's just...
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's just the time.
It's
the times that we live in. We can't even, go out and have fun and trick or treat and, be kids and have a pillowcase full of candy.
Right.
That you don't even finish.
That you didn't finish, right?
Yeah.
But it's a peace of mind, and that's just the difference. Like what you said about the razors. That probably wasn't real or isn't real, obviously. But
now fentanyl
is the thing, and we see
and
how it affects.
I just want to say that you read that article and it said no kid has died from Halloween candy. Now I don't know when that was written, but I would say it's like safe to say that just might change.
Right. Well. Let's pray it doesn't,
Yeah, knock on wood,
Right. But it's just unfortunate because, I mean, at least she can experience it, But yeah, as far as me feeling, that for her to be safe.
So that's why people go trick or treating at like like churches and things like that. I would say like
Right.
that's probably like the safest thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
then, they have games and they enjoy themselves. They have like the pony rides. And this is probably the first year in a very long time that we might not be, they're not going to, but it's okay. I mean, she's been wanting to experience something different. So I'm okay with that. What would you do when you were a kid? Did you guys go trick or treating?
Yeah, we went trick or treating.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went trick or treating. We would go trick or treating like around the neighborhood, and I don't know. Sometimes we'd go to like the nicer neighborhoods, And then when we moved to like East Highland, like I noticed how lit that was. I was like, whoa, man! Like it got crowded up there. Well, like people would go up there,
and then a lot of people did some crazy things too, right? Like your friend, right? He would have like a spooky
my neighbor
home
down the street. Man, his was the house to go to.
Right? Yeah, they go. But that's how it was in LA. People took it serious, and it was another level down there. So when coming up out here, it was very different. Even then, we're just like, wow, this is kind of sad.
Yeah.
It was kind of sad. But what was your favorite costume that you remember?
My favorite costume?
Yeah, as a kid.
Man.
Or maybe as an adult.
Oh, I think as an adult is different. As a kid, my costumes were always like really generic.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, they were just like, the spirit, Halloween spirit or whatever that store was. Or like Walmart. They were just
store
like,
was still open back then?
I mean, I'm just saying. They were like,
similar.
Yeah, they're always prepackaged or, something like that. I really didn't, have anything that like looked different than anybody else. I remember I was a little bit jelly though.
Why?
Because I love the Ninja Turtles, and I was a turtle for Halloween for a few years. And I would see these other kids, because my turtle costume was like it had like a little flat plastic shell. It was kind of like almost like a little vest that you would just put over your head, and like the front was like I don't know, almost like cotton, and then the back was like a plastic shell.
Yeah.
But man, I saw these kids with like these dope looking shells, man. And I was like, dang, I wish I could be like, that kind of turtle.
Right.
Because those shells were like, I don't know. They were like, I don't know. They were just like huge. And I was like, man, I'm over here with this janky Michelangelo costume.
Hey, let me tell you something. Okay. I don't know how, but my mom, like, we just didn't have the money to buy costumes. My costumes were all bought or made. We had to go to Goodwill, and my mom would find different pieces of a costume, and she would put a costume together. Like, even if it was from ripped like linen or used things, but we just didn't have the money.
But see, those are the ones that win the costume contest, though.
Let me tell you, okay, and I'm proud to say.
Oh, whatever, man.
For probably 4 to 5 years, from first grade to fifth, I think it was first grade to fifth grade, I won first place for some kind of category.
Whatever.
Okay. Man. The only time, let me tell you, the only year, I don't know, I think it was for most creative. That year, I remember I was in fifth grade, and we were learning about Egypt. So Egypt was our main topic during Halloween. So we had a potluck, and here I am, man. Like my mom was a trooper. She made a pyramid like out of cake. Okay, so I can take. So I was a mummy. She just cut a whole bunch of white sheets. Mm-hmm. We put them in dirt. So, it could be kind of like dirty. Mm-hmm. Man, she just wrapped me all up. So, Tony, when I tell you, I had to go to school in the car, like laying sideways because I couldn't bend my knee. Man, I wasn't the only one that won. They had to give it to another girl too, because she was also a mummy.
Oh, how did that make you feel?
But listen, hers was sewed. Her mom, she was known. Like we all knew her dresses, her clothes was made by her mom. Her mom she was a sewer. Like she could sew. So she was able to take off her entire mask. Like it was nicely sewed, you know. Mine was like, and mine was pretty cool. So she won with me. I guess they couldn't give it to neither because they didn't want, somebody to feel like, hey, she's a mummy too. Like, So that year I had to be standing beside somebody else.
Do you feel like you should have beat her?
Huh?
Do you feel like you should have beat her?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, man, we're competitive. We were competitive, okay? But yeah, don't feel bad. I mean, that's how it was.
Yeah, I mean,
it was rough times, man.
Actually, I was a little jelly of, the other Ninja Turtle costumes, but I actually liked my turtle costume. Like I wore it a couple of years, until it didn't fit no more.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you a story. So, tell me. So, my classmates from 1st to 6th grade, we were in the same class because I was in bilingual class. So we grew up together, right? Man, this is how rough our neighborhood was. My friend wore the same costume for 3 years. On the 3rd year, she was a dinosaur. The 3rd year, so if you ever see this video, I remember you, okay? It was like all the way up here.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she still rocked it, though?
She still rocked it.
Yeah.
And we were very supportive.
You can't make that up.
We were supportive. We were like, hey, it's okay.
Yeah, you can't make that up, man.
But I mean, it's one of those things where you could tell she's like, oh, yeah, it's again. I'm wearing it again.
Man, that's crazy. I think my favorite costume was probably the Ichigo Kurosaki costume I made.
You just have to say how that I made. Wow.
Yeah, I did make it though.
I know. You just said that, but that was your favorite costume?
Yeah, I think that was my favorite one.
You did a good job,
I actually
though.
spent a lot of time on it.
No, you didn't. You made that costume and I feel like you made it so quick.
I had a lot of help.
You
though.
spent a lot of time. No, I'm sorry. I'm confusing the sword. But that was what sword did you make?
Kingdom Hearts.
That was Kingdom Hearts. That was the one you spent kind of some time on.
That was the one I made by myself.
You still have it?
No, I tossed it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're right. The other one, you did pretty good, man. That was pretty creative.
That one was decent. I think, considering I didn't know how to sew, I think that was decent. But I think the Ichigo one, that one, man, even the sword I made, people thought it was real.
That's what I'm saying. That was pretty good. Yeah, you did pretty good with that one.
Yeah, that one was really good. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I think that's it.
Kind of sad. We're not dressing up this year. I think this is the first year in a very long time.
You know what though? I think with Halloween, I don't know. I think we just need to kind of be a little careful with what we do.
For sure.
Because it's kind of more or less an evil holiday.
I agree. I mean, definitely. I think people. It is so. Growing up, there's nothing evil about it. You know what I mean? I think
or at least you didn't think so.
But that's right, because it was just fun, candy. You dress up. Now as you got older, you start hearing all. You know what I mean? Like what some people do on that day.
But I just think that you just don't realize, like, even like scary movies are evil, right? People dress up as evil characters and evil costumes,
right?
Not necessarily.
No, and you're right, because even Elias, when he's a couple of times he's been wanting, I don't know what he said, and I'm just like, Elias, it's pretty evil. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's not. I don't know. It just doesn't look right. You know what I mean? Like somebody dressing up like Chainsaw, the guy from Chainsaw Massacre. Like this guy would cut off the skin and wear it. Like you really want to be something like that? That's
what he wanted to be?
No. Like I was just saying, like when you hear people or like you see costumes like that, you know, in the Halloween store, you see like stuff like that. You're just like, that's kind of freaky. Like, why
and
would
see,
you?
I think we definitely have to be careful with like the things that we consume, right? With our eyes. And I think Halloween is just used as an excuse to
Right.
look at those things.
Well, I was going to
It's just,
say that it's used as an excuse. You know what I mean? It really is. I think it's very interesting that you just said that because my mom and I were having this conversation earlier about how holidays are transformed into something totally different and the meaning is just taken away. You know what I mean? That people will use a certain holiday and use it for their own cause or kind of, I don't know, transfer it, or not the word transfer, but like change it into something that it's going to benefit their community. So, for example, we're talking about Easter. My mom said, "Where did the Easter bunny come from?" Right. So, and I told her, I said, honestly, personally, I had no idea where the Easter bunny came from. Do you know the story?
Yeah, you want me to tell you?
Okay, tell me.
It's actually I believe it's even in the Bible.
The bunny?
Not necessarily the bunny.
Okay, that's what she asked about the bunny. How was it? How did it become affiliated with Easter? How did the bunny become such a big symbol?
Oh, you okay? I know kind of how it got incorporated.
Okay.
So there was a goddess or a deity, fallen angel or whatever you want to call it. Her name was Ishtar. And she was like a fertility goddess.
Okay.
Right.
Fertility goddess?
Yeah, she was it'll come together at the end.
Okay.
So she was like a goddess of fertility.
I think I know where you're going with this.
And so Ishtar somehow became Easter.
I was gonna say, where's the music?
No, that's my alarm. I gotta go to work tonight. So Ishtar somehow became Easter.
Interesting.
In American language. And so now she's the goddess of fertility. That's where the eggs come from that we make.
Okay.
And bunnies are super reproductive, and that's how they became a part of the whole Easter story.
But they used a bunny?
Because they reproduce like crazy.
Interesting. And the eggs?
The eggs are because it's a fertility goddess, and so like the egg represents
interesting.
Life,
okay. Right? No, I had no idea.
So celebrating Easter
right.
in like the non-Christian way, right? You're actually celebrating this goddess Ishtar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you know where they celebrate it like that? Do you know what countries?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
But that's exactly what I was telling her. I mean, the same thing with Halloween. You know what I mean?
But Halloween is like blatantly evil, though.
Okay. You know? Like, and I think people.
But like Easter, you didn't know it was evil.
Right.
Like that's like completely covered up. You know, but Halloween is like it's blatant and it gives people. I mean, when do you see like that's the only time you walk outside and see butt cheeks? You know, people dressing like. You know,
I mean,
like
they're
at the rave or something.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah. You
know.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So it kind of it's kind of an opportunity for people to do certain things and being justified for what they're doing.
Because any other day they wouldn't be dressing like that on the street, right?
Yeah.
Or doing certain behaviors or.
I mean, I'm not good. Would they though nowadays? Come on, you see butt cheeks even on a regular day sometimes, and you're like,
but not. Whoa. I mean, not like that though.
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, not like that.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, Halloween is I think it's just the way we were brought up that, you know, it's just, you do see it, the fun in it, and then you do see the evil in it.
Yeah. Hey, even Christmas, Saint Nick. Mm-hmm. He's the saint of prostitutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
think about that.
See, that's the thing. Like you hear you see Saint Nick of Prost, but then you hear other stories behind Saint Nick, and it has nothing to do with prostitutes. So all these stories change down the line. Like, what is real? Like, who? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the stories are changed to benefit, I'm pretty sure, a certain community, certain population. You know what I mean? So I don't think
the stories are changed. It's just that's real. Saint Nick is
the first story of Saint Nick. I never heard that it was because of prostitutes.
The story of Saint Nick,
yeah,
like the actual Saint Nick,
yeah. But it wasn't until I was older that I heard that version. Right? It's almost like the Disney versions.
What'd you hear before?
That he was this man that this older man, he loved kids, and, he used to make toys, and he would pass them around to kids, blah, blah, blah. Like, he was just this nice.
Like the Catholic saint. That's what he did?
Yeah. Yeah. That he was just a nice man, and, that's what he would do.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't hear that.
That's what I'm saying. You have tons of different stories. But then again, I mean, like I was about to say, look at the Disney movie.
Right.
Like, they're just all nice.
It goes even further. There's even, even with the Christmas tree and decorating the tree, even that's a pagan ritual.
See? So what's the boundaries? What would you say are the boundaries? Like, what would you say it's okay to do it because that's not the way that we view it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's almost like, it's really like you know what I mean? Like, okay, you're going to do it because you are doing a ritual, or you're doing it because it's a decoration and it's part of a tradition. So what is the balance and the boundary? Or should you do it at all?
I think that it kind of depends on what it is and the circumstances. Like with decorating a tree, I personally don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But I think that when it comes to Christmas, you also have to understand like the true meaning of Christmas. Mm-hmm. You know, what is it that we're actually celebrating? Okay.
And that's, again, what I just said. It's really you. You know, why are you doing this? Like, you have to tell yourself.
But I said that because, like, even with Dia de los Muertos and, making an ofrenda. Mm-hmm.
Did you really meant that again, didn't you? Oh my gosh.
Man, you know what? You know exactly what I'm saying. But there are certain like decorations.
Right.
Like if you were to bring that up, I'd be like, no, I don't think we're going to do that in our house.
I agree. But again, I think it's really
like even like you can light a candle and you can say, oh, well, I'm just, it's just a candle. I'm just lighting it. Mm-hmm. But, it's supposed to represent a light for your loved ones to follow or whatever. So something like that, right. I would be like, absolutely not.
My point is that's why I don't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because subconsciously, like, I feel that I know that. You know what I mean? But
right.
If I didn't and I actually wanted it to, personally, because I love candles, I love the way that it looks. Even when I like decor and stuff like that, candles is such a beautiful thing, right?
Right.
So if I didn't know that and it was just part of my decor, to me, I don't think that I would have the same impact or the same meaning behind what you
Right.
already
And
know.
I think that, yeah, if you,
You
don't know, then that's, a little bit different.
And that's what I,
but if you become aware of it and you're
Right.
still doing it, then I think that there's something wrong with that. Even as far as like putting food there, I don't know how I feel about that either.
Well, I honestly,
Not that you've ever done it, but
Right.
just saying, like, I don't think, like,
I don't think
we
I
could do
find
that.
anything wrong with it, because it's almost like you're doing a family gathering and you're eating. You guys are eating.
But like putting food on the altar, though.
Oh, okay, like the favorite, like their
Like
favorite,
that.
what they
not
were.
not like gathering and like having a meal with family. I'm talking about like, putting
Their-
whatever
what it was their favorite
on
meal.
their ofrenda.
Right. Why? What is like, what do you think, like that somebody's gonna eat it, like a spirit's gonna eat it?
No, I don't think.
But that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm trying to make you understand.
It's also supposed to.
like
It's also supposed to like be a kind of like a treat for them, like once they get there, right?
right,
So,
and that and
So like, no, I'm like, I don't know about that.
but that's the whole experience that somebody that really believes in that,
Right.
like, will want to, kind of bring forward.
I know,
right?
but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
those are things that I'm saying, like, I don't think that there's anything wrong with decorating a Christmas tree, so long as we understand the real reason why we're celebrating Christmas. And even then,
Mm-hmm.
like, Jesus wasn't even born in December,
Right.
So what are we actually doing for Christmas? But this is what I do understand. I understand that
Mm-hmm.
that's the day that our nation has set aside to celebrate the birth of Christ.
And
So
I was literally gonna say that it is just, literally a day that we decided, hey,
Yeah.
when are we going to recognize Jesus, his birth, and here we're going to sing.
right. So that's
There's-
the day that we've set aside. So I'm just rolling with that.
Is it okay?
I mean, I think it's okay because that's what we've decided to do as a nation. So, okay, we should celebrate Christ.
But why choose it on a day that was celebrated for something else? Why not do it in a different day that has nothing to do with Saint Nick? Why that specific day?
That part, I don't know. See, you're going to have to educate me more on this whole Saint Nick thing, because the only thing I know about him is that he's the saint of the prostitutes. I had no idea he like delivered presents to kids, or
Yeah. So
like December 25th is his day.
So much admired for his piety and kindness, Saint Nicholas became the subject of many legends. So this one said that he gave away all of his inherited wealth and traveled the countryside helping the poor and the sick. So this one says, according to a Christian tradition, he was a bishop. So this one says, in that small Roman town during the 4th century. So again, his reputation for generosity and kindness gave rise to legends of miracles he performed for the poor and unhappy. So that's really basically what I've always heard. I've never ever heard of the prostitutes. Let me type it up. Saint Nicholas has been a recognized protector of women ever since he rescued 3 young women from a life of prostitution. Maybe that's what.
Maybe.
So when he learned they were to be sold into such a life, he secretly left gold on 3 different occasions to provide dowry money so they could be married. I mean, that could be him. Like, he did help. He was a wealthy man, help, the sick, the poor, the unhappy.
Okay, so then there's nothing about like the 25th of December being designated for his day, though.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see why. Nehemiah. So this is the same guy. Yeah. Yeah. So he was the same guy.
Yeah. Okay. So all I'm saying is that that's the day that we set aside to celebrate the birth of Christ. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure, and unless you can find something, I'm not sure the 25th has anything to do with Saint Nick per se.
So if you
But
guys,
somehow we've developed this, fairy tale of Santa Claus coming and delivering presents to the kids, and then we feed that nonsense to our kids, which I think is crazy. Well,
because
maybe
the
we'll
history
maybe
books
we'll
say
look
so.
into it and come back with the
Yeah, for
Christmas
sure.
episode.
So, I mean, I just feel like it's just, again, a theory, and probably the church discussed it and was like, hey, we're gonna choose this day. But I think we should probably research how both intertwine in that saying. We're gonna get Santa Claus and then we'll.
Yeah, we can definitely look up some history and come back and figure out why
we just
why we
have
do it on
to.
the 25th.
But it's only like I do think we also have to think about that. We do live in. There's like the believers world and then the secular world, and it was just like I was telling my mom. There's always something that it's for a secular world and a believer's world with the holidays, right? Just like the Easter, the bunny, but we celebrate Jesus. Christmas, Santa Claus, but we celebrate Jesus. You know what I mean? So it's almost like even Thanksgiving. Look at Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? If you really want to talk about Thanksgiving, we could go many routes. I mean, at one point we could see it as evil, and at one point we could see it as the day that we give thanks. If we give, Jesus thanks for what we have and what we're grateful for. But again, it's both ways. So
what are you saying? I don't understand.
Should we celebrate it? Should we be celebrating, knowing, the history behind these holidays?
Yeah, because like I said, Christmas is the day we set aside to celebrate the birth of Christ. Okay, Easter is the day we set aside to celebrate the resurrection of Christ. Yeah. So yeah, we should absolutely celebrate those days.
But that's what I mean. Like with this holidays, it's really your perspective, right? Like what you believe in and like what are you celebrating?
It's not about perspective, though. That's
no.
What I'm saying is absolutely that is what
it's for Halloween. Like for Halloween, so honestly, then you're just saying it's pure evil. So should it be celebrated then? What's the good in it? So we know we are celebrating a cause for other holidays. So right. Should Halloween be celebrated?
Honestly, we probably shouldn't celebrate Halloween, in all honesty. But the other holidays, the purpose and reason for those holidays is to celebrate Christ. So to say that maybe we shouldn't celebrate them, I think is completely wrong.
No, I never said that we shouldn't. I think you're really no. I never said that we shouldn't celebrate them, but I'm just arguing like, hey, you wanna say about Halloween, but yet we do celebrate it, and you're saying it's really how you view it, right? Or
I'm not saying it's how you view it. What are you celebrating for Halloween versus what are you celebrating for Easter and Christmas?
Right.
You know what you're celebrating for Easter and Christmas. What are you celebrating for Halloween? But what I'm
saying is that you still say Santa Claus. You still say
I
the bunny.
I don't say Santa Claus. I don't mention a bunny. I don't mention Santa Claus.
Itane, yes, you did. When our kids.
I never mentioned a bunny.
Okay, that's
I don't even know if the kids know an Easter bunny.
I don't think we ever.
Before we moved back down here, Elias didn't know who Santa Claus was.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Elias, yes, he did.
Lies.
Itone, yes, he did. What are you talking about?
We didn't celebrate Santa Claus when we were up north.
Let me tell you, yes, he did. He believed in Santa for the longest. I think he was probably 4 or 5 when he asked.
That's after we came down here.
No,
we never brought up Santa Claus when we were up there. And I know because I argued with your mom about this.
What are you talking about? No. Oh my gosh. How are you going to tell me, Tony, when I was the one wrapping the presents? Yeah. I was the one bringing them out. How are you going to tell me? You were You weren't even there when I would be doing that.
But we never said Santa Claus is coming once you go to sleep.
No, he would come at 12 at night with the Mexican household. It's a very tricky thing because, like, we want our kids to be kids. We want this magical side of it. You know, I think you have to also be careful to be too extreme with it. You know what I mean? Like, I do believe in that. I do believe that people become such an extremist in both views. Teach your kids the word, and I think that's why it's so important. But, like, I don't know, like, teach them the truth. You know what I mean? But you're not teaching them evil. Like, it just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's the magic side of it. Because in that case, the way that you're saying it, then I guess you shouldn't really celebrate it.
You shouldn't celebrate what?
The Christmas. Like, I mean, celebrate it the way that we do. Put up the Christmas decorations. You know,
So
whole.
that part, I don't think that there's anything wrong with, but just
So should
you know,
we not?
like,
Should we? So you're saying what? Like, just
like exchanging gifts, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with
why?
that. I don't think there's anything wrong with exchanging gifts.
Why? Why are we exchanging gifts? It's Jesus Christ's birthday. No, it ain't your birthday.
Yeah, okay, you're right. I know.
Why should you get a present?
Right, but that's what we've decided to do as a Christmas tradition is exchange gifts, right?
Right.
But now
I do again.
What exactly is Santa Claus? Why does he have these magical powers?
I think
where did those powers come from?
It's our job, Tony, to teach our kids. Once you become like self-aware, how you said, you know, because once you get to that age and reality starts hitting, you know, like, boom, this is fake, this is fake, this is fake. Start becoming a young adult. You know, the fantasy world starts disappearing. You know what I mean? It's just like you said, it's a traditional thing that we've grew up with, you know, but I guess I'm just playing devil's advocate because there's certain things that are okay and certain things that are not. You know,
you're right, but I'm just okay. So the reason why, like, I don't think we should do Santa Claus. Like I said, where do you get those powers from? You know, why are we celebrating like this other man or being or whatever he is, and teaching that to our kids? You know, and
are you celebrating him?
You absolutely are.
Yeah,
You have these kids like, you know, oh my gosh, Santa Claus came. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see Santa Claus. Santa. I want to go sit on Santa Claus' lap.
Oh, so you just reminded me something. The reason why I know that Elias did believe in Santa Claus was because Santa Claus guys at our home would get pork chops. Oh, and what else?
Yeah, because I was Santa Claus.
We would leave it outside on the table.
Because I was Santa Claus.
Listen, that's how I know that he did believe in Santa, because we would cook for Santa Claus and we would leave it on the table so he can eat when he would visit.
Yeah. Well, you mean when I woke up in the middle of the night?
My point was
to put the presents out.
Exactly. But my point was, you see? I remember. Hey, you haven't gotten pork chops though for a while. We haven't made pork chops for you.
Nope.
You missed that?
Been waiting, yeah.
I need to make pork chops. But yeah, I think we, you know, just pray about it, guys, because there are definitely certain things that you shouldn't. You're right. You shouldn't probably be messing around with.
Yeah.
You know.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Santa Claus. Are you getting ready?
I'm trying to get past Thanksgiving first.
Oh, gosh, yes.
We're not even past Halloween at this point, so.
2 more days. And Thanksgiving. mean, I don't know why stores do that. That gives me anxiety.
Yeah, they just try to make money. That's all it is.
It really is. Hey, but I would say this. I'm kind of thankful that some stores are going to close on Thanksgiving Day. You know, for Black Friday, how they would actually have it open. They were starting to have it open for Black Friday. So yeah, so some stores are actually going to go back to having it closed. So
yeah, they should. They should give those people a day off.
Yeah. It's kind of sad, man.
All right. Anything else?
Nothing scary, man.
All right. Then I guess that's a wrap.
It's a wrap. So if you guys have any questions, let us know what you guys celebrate, what you don't celebrate, what you should celebrate, maybe not celebrate, right?
Yeah. But how do you guys celebrate the holidays?
Yeah. But if you guys like this, don't forget to like our video. Not if you like, don't forget to like it and subscribe. And we'll see you guys.
And leave a comment.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
All right.